Alright guys, what is going on? Fly here, and today we are going to be practicing some landings with the Bf-109 K-4. I chose the K-4 because it's one of the hardest planes to land in the game, and if you can land this plane, you can land any plane. And here is the runway right now. We are setting up for takeoff. We have our taxi clearance and our takeoff clearance, so no reason to radio. Now tail draggers are kind of hard to taxi. I haven't been training how to do tail draggers yet. Okay. Oh, let's see. I think you got to plan your taxis a little more advanced. Maybe I can teach myself how to do this a little bit better. But we're here for landings and landings only. Okay, let's get lined up. Flaps. Okay, here we go. Alrighty, we're off the ground. Now this plane is very, very fidgety. It's very hard to land, kind of difficult to take off, but if you get the hang of it, you should be able to do any plane, as I said before. Now, there's many ways to land an aircraft in War Thunder. You know, you can just go like this, you can do this, you can do this, you know, slow your plane down. But there is one guaranteed proper way that you'll always land if you do it properly, and that is a nice real-life approach. And the way that I've been trained is to enter 45 degrees downwind, go to your base, go to your final, you know, have a good speed, have a good angle of descent, and you should be able to land safely and effectively every time. You know, no damaged props, no smashing on the runway. And if you guys use this, you'll be able to get in the air faster and help your team out more. Okay, so we can see the runway right now. Now we're going to enter 45 degrees, so let me go ahead and show you what I'm going to do. This plane is super fast, guys. Jeez. So we're going to idle power because we don't need to be 430 kilometers right now in the airspace. Okay. We're going to be landing on runway 5, which is, or 050, which is the east heading, or northeast. Alright, so if you can see the runway right now, I'm kind of entering it at a 45-degree angle. Now there's pattern, like the pattern is like the way you would land. So I'm entering 45 degrees right now. I'm going to turn on my downwind. This is downwind right here. This is parallel to the runway. Looking at the runway to see it. And then eventually I'm going to be turning on to my base. I'm going to put combat flaps up to slow me down a little bit. Need to get a little bit lower before I can drop my gear. Okay. Gears out. Now, as I come in for landing, there's going to be a thing where I'm going to pitch for speed and power for altitude. You don't want to increase speed or increase throttle for speed. You want to you know change your pitch for speed. If you need altitude, that's when you put your power in. Okay, if that makes sense. So we're on a long downwind right now. We're going to turn for our base. We can see the runway off to our left wing right now. We're going to put some power in so we don't crash. And this is how you should really, you just need to fidget with the power, fidget with the angle. And I'm a little bit low. I know where the runway is. It's right over there. So we're on a modified base right now. And now we can start to see the runway looking like it's about to intersect our aircraft. Like if you draw an invisible line. So we're going to go ahead and turn final now. Make sure you guys play with that power to just so you don't stall. Base to final turns are the most dangerous in a landing approach, just because you could stall if you're not setting up properly and you don't have the right throttle inputs. So here we are. We have trees on final. Don't know why they put trees there, but so right now I am pulling back to slow me down. I'm not decreasing throttle to slow me down. So I need more speed and altitude. So I'm going to put power in right now and decrease my pitch. So now we're on final. Now we're going to set in a good flare for landing. See, I'm already setting it in right now. Went over the runway. Going to start pitching up right now for a flare. There we go. Now it's okay to bounce on landing. It's okay to bounce on landing. This is a tail dragger. It's not really going to matter too much. Tail draggers in World War II always bounce on landing unless you do a perfect three-star landing. 3-star means, you know, every single wheel touches the ground at the same time, and that's very skilled pilots. Now also you can see that I'm braking, you know, kind of, you know, like off and on, just so I don't flip my plane when I come to a halt. Alright, successful landing, I would say. Now I'm going to cut back in to show you. Alright guys, that was the proper landing. You should only do that landing when you have the time. And I'm going to show you what a combat landing could look like. And I'm going to use the technique called slipping the plane. Slipping the plane is where you use opposite rudder and aileron. Or use, you know, so let's say I use right rudder. Okay? I'm going to use opposite aileron. And what this does is slows the plane down drastically. And it allows your plane to lose so much speed that you can land very quickly. So here we're going to do our first attempt here. Let's find the runway. Where is your runway? I think I see it off in the distance. Alright, here we go. So now we're nice and fast right now. We're coming in for a landing. And we know someone's coming back to our base, so we need to land as fast as possible to get up, rearm, get our fuel, and get back in the fight. So we're going to start our slip now, just to lose some power. And you can see my oh, you can't see my rudder, but I'm using right rudder or left rudder right now with right aileron to slow my plane down. And you can see my speed starting to dwindle right now. We're going to pitch up to lose some even more speed. So I'm slipping the plane right as we speak. And you can perform some S-turns on final 2 to even slow down the plane a little bit more. I'm still slipping it right now. Alright, I'm going to put my gear and flaps out. This is appropriate speed for my gear and flaps. Still slipping it very hard right now. So you can see my speed just dwindling down right now. As you see, I'm crabbing towards the runway right now because my rudder is helping me stay on the center line. Still slipping. Now we're coming in for landing. We're going to stop the slip now, get the plane back on the runway. We're going to start our flare right now. Little bouncy, no worries guys. And see how much faster this is than landing properly. Now the only reason why I don't do this landing oh, that was a close one. The only reason why I don't do this all the time is because it's very dangerous. You can easily, you know, miscalculate your flare and you can slam into the ground and then you're out of the fight. Alright guys, a little review of what we did today. Today we went over proper and combat landings. I would only recommend proper landings when you have the time and the teammates to protect you for your safe approach. I mean, it's a pretty long approach, but in return, it's very safe. Now, with proper landings, you're going to be entering 45 degrees to the downwind. Once you're on your downwind is parallel to the runway, if you guys forgot. And then you'll go to your base, and then final. Final is the most important part, I think about landing. On final, you have to really play with your power and your angle of descent, and finally have a good flare for a successful landing. Now with combat, I would recommend combat when you need to get down as fast as possible and rearm and repair. The only downside to combat is that you have a high chance of crashing on landing just because you're erratically using the joystick, you're slipping the aircraft, you're almost kind of stalling it in a way. So only when you need to get on the ground as fast as possible, use combat. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed this video, and till the next time, peace out. Just let me get him right now for some reason. Woo, doggy! What's my next target? I don't know why you let me get him. Okay, well, I'll climb up.